bullies in this business. And the bullies are so used to being bullies, they don't understand when somebody bite back.
Right.
And not bark back, they bite back.
Right.
I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like, when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't.
Is Oprah Winfrey truly the untouchable queen of daytime television, the face of empowerment, the voice of justice, or has she quietly used her immense power to protect one of Hollywood's most scandal-drenched figures from public accountability? We thought we knew Oprah. We opened our hearts to her, trusted her with our pain, our secrets, and our healing. She wasn't just a celebrity. She was a symbol, a moral North Star, a woman who overcame unimaginable odds to build a media empire, rooted in compassion, truth, and integrity. But now, whispers are turning into headlines. Doubts are cracking through her polished image. And the faith we once had is starting to tremble. At the eye of this growing storm stands none other than Sean Combs, known to the world as Diddy. The music icon, long celebrated for his business savvy and glittering lifestyle, is now facing horrifying allegations. From disturbing claims of trafficking to manipulation, coercion, and emotional abuse. The list is both staggering and deeply disturbing, sending shockwaves through the entire industry. But what's even more jaw-dropping and, frankly, unsettling is the suspicion taking shape behind.
Let's talk about the filth that's starting to come out in the early days of the Diddy trial. This, of course, is P. Diddy. Surprise, surprise, he's a creep. Surprise, surprise, he's done horrible things.
Closed doors. That Oprah Winfrey may have been quietly pulling strings to shield him. The same Oprah who built her legacy on truth, justice, and speaking out against abuse, now being linked to the silencing of victims. The question is terrifying. How could one of the most trusted women in America possibly be involved in protecting someone accused of such darkness? Then enters Denzel Washington, a Hollywood legend whose reputation has remained spotless, his moral compass unshakable. Denzel, a deeply spiritual man who's never shied away from crediting faith as the foundation of his career, has long hinted at a darker undercurrent flowing beneath Hollywood's glittering surface. And now, if insider whispers are to be believed, Denzel is privately raising serious red flags about Oprah's behind-the-scenes role. Sources say he's not sugarcoating, reportedly labeling her not just as a silent observer, but as a key player actively using her powerful reach to suppress uncomfortable truths and keep the lid on the growing Diddy scandal. So, the burning question becomes why? Why would Oprah risk everything? Her meticulously built image, her billion-dollar legacy, her status as a cultural icon, to stand beside someone drowning in
dishonest, violent, horrible. A promiscuous swinger who lied to and cheated on multiple partners. Incredibly, that's how Sean Diddy Combs' own lawyers describe the billionaire music mogul, currently facing serious trafficking charges in a New York court.
Controversy like Diddy. The speculation is what's being said behind closed doors is even more chilling than what's already come to light. Trusted voices inside elite Hollywood circles are now claiming that Oprah has discreetly invested millions into properties directly linked to Diddy's lavish, star-studded events. Events that, according to murmurs, were riddled with disturbing behavior and dark secrets. Could these financial ties be a strategic move, a way to cloak complicity in the form of clean business transactions, laundering association through real estate and investment fronts? If that's true, the fallout could be catastrophic. And now, let's
referred to me as Wild King Nights. And what a Wild King Night was when him and a guest would go to a hotel room or be at his home, his bedroom, and they would have intimate gatherings. I would have to go and prep that hotel room, which consisted of baby oil Astroglide.
Talk about those infamous parties. Publicly, they were glamorized, but behind closed doors, they were known by a far more disturbing name, freak-offs. These weren't just over-the-top celebrity gatherings, they were reportedly something far more twisted. According to insiders, these events were ultra-exclusive, ultra-secretive nights where nothing was off-limits, and most lines weren't just blurred, they were completely erased. The stories trickling out of these inner circles paint a picture of wild decadence drenched in manipulation and control, a charged atmosphere where boundaries didn't just bend, they broke. And these are the very environments where Diddy's alleged misconduct is said to have taken root. What takes it to another level entirely is the rumor that Oprah herself, yes, Oprah may have quietly supported these very gatherings through shadowy financial channels. If those whispers hold even a shred of truth, the implications are not just unsettling, they're explosive. Why would Oprah Winfrey, the very embodiment of strength, wisdom, and empowerment, risk everything she's built by aligning herself with something this dark? It feels personal, like a betrayal, not just of her fans, but of every value she's ever claimed to represent. This is no longer a celebrity scandal. This is a fracture in our cultural reality. Oprah has always been inseparable from the image of truth teller, of advocate, of healer. But if even a fraction of these whispers are true, it shatters an illusion that millions have believed in for generations. It casts a spiritual shadow over her legacy, and that shadow grows darker with every new allegation. Denzel Washington's warnings hit differently in this context. A man of deep Christian faith who sees his work not just as performance but as ministry, Denzel has long hinted at spiritual warfare within the Hollywood machine. He's spoken openly about sensing a powerful, unseen darkness, a force most people don't even know how to describe. But now, behind the scenes, insiders say Denzel is connecting those same dark forces directly to Oprah, not financially, not reputationally, spiritually. A quiet belief that she's not just looking the other way but possibly choosing the side of control, of power, of the very influence she once stood against. It's a chilling possibility that Oprah isn't just complicit, but protective, actively shielding the very behaviors she's spent her career condemning. And this isn't just about her. The web around Diddy stretches further than anyone expected, reaching into the heart of Hollywood's so-called moral elite. Bishop T.D. Jakes, one of the most recognizable spiritual voices in the country, has now been swept up in disturbing whispers. Allegations, unconfirmed, yes, but tied directly to the same controversial events Diddy hosted. Could this be more than an isolated scandal? Could it be a tightly woven network of protection stretching from studio lots to pulpits? Have y'all talked since? Someone once asked. Let me be honest, came the answer. I never had anything against Oprah, but yeah, I named my dog Oprah. Laughter, unease, truth wrapped in jest. Then there's the Cassie Ventura trial. The R&B singer's lawsuit has become a firestorm of attention, with disturbing, graphic testimonies that paint Diddy as a man capable of terrifying things. Her court statements aren't vague, they are vivid, clear, and brutal. Yet somehow, Diddy continues to dodge lasting consequences, which forces us to ask, who is protecting him? And why does the trail of protection keep circling back to Oprah? We have to confront the possibility that the woman who built an empire on empowerment, who spoke for survivors, who condemned injustice, may be silently supporting the very monsters she once claimed to fight. If Oprah has truly acted as Diddy's behind-the-scenes guardian angel, what else has she hidden? How many layers does this deception have? I think Oprah Winfrey knows exactly what she needs to do, one singer declared. Stop hiding behind the idea that every criticism is just a negative comment. Those words, they hit different. Now, let's not forget international superstars have already accused Oprah of knowing about Harvey Weinstein's abuse and choosing silence. One public call-out in particular shook the internet, a reminder that when power protects power, victims are often crushed in the middle. And suddenly, the comparisons between Harvey and Diddy don't seem so far-fetched. Is history repeating itself? And if it is Oprah the common thread? Even more concerning, celebrities like 50 Cent and Rose McGowan have long questioned Oprah's selective morality, accusing her of calling out some men while conveniently staying silent on others. Their message is clear. Oprah's outrage may be strategic, her morality conditional, her entire brand carefully curated to serve those already in power, potentially people like Diddy. If there's any truth to these claims, Oprah's empire isn't built on inspiration, it's built on illusion. An illusion crafted with precision, wrapped in empathy, and sold to the world as healing. But if the cracks widen, the whole thing collapses. And what we're left with isn't just the fall of a media titan, it's a national reckoning. A moment where America must ask whether we've placed our trust in a carefully managed facade. And this runs deeper. Every time Oprah mentioned hip-hop culture, it was rarely praise, always critique, often pointed. So when Diddy's debut shattered records, and Oprah didn't celebrate, but condemned, many wondered why. And now, those questions are turning into allegations. This isn't just about Diddy. This is a full-on confrontation between Hollywood's sparkling surface and the spiritual rot hiding underneath. As Denzel's words echo through the corridors of power, we're being forced to face a brutal truth. If Oprah's actions are what they seem, this is not just a breach of trust, it's a spiritual betrayal. Diddy, facing criminal charges, still tries to manipulate from behind bars. Reports claim he's passed notes from his cell, ordering family to dig up dirt on his accusers. The rot isn't just deep, it's desperate, and we must ask again, is Oprah protecting him out of misguided loyalty? Or does she stand to lose more than just her image if he falls? Because if Denzel's long-standing warning is truth, that darkness lives behind the lights of Hollywood, then Oprah's alleged actions are no accident. They're allegiance, a deliberate, calculated move to shield the machinery of corruption. And if that's the case, then what we're witnessing isn't a scandal, it's a collapse. And the collapse has begun. Each headline, each leak, each sworn testimony, it's all chipping away at the golden statue of Oprah Winfrey. A woman once untouchable, now trembling under the weight of whispered truths. Could she really be Hollywood's ultimate fixer, the silent puppeteer pulling the strings, rewriting the narrative, hiding the skeletons? The truth is still unraveling. But what we know already, is more than enough to lose sleep over. Because if even a sliver of this is real, then we are watching the fall of an empire built not on truth, but on the illusion of it. Empowerment. Trust. Integrity. These weren't just buzzwords. They were Oprah Winfrey's brand, her promise. But if what's emerging is even half true, then the betrayal runs deeper than we ever imagined. And the iceberg we're seeing, it's just the tip. The things I experienced with him were monster-like. That stuff almost destroyed my life. It's not just about Diddy anymore. It's not even about Oprah's alleged mistake. According to those closest to the shadows of Hollywood, this isn't a one-time lapse in judgment. It's a pattern, a disturbing one. Because the names that keep surfacing alongside Oprah's, Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, two of the darkest figures to ever stain the entertainment industry, and Oprah. She wasn't distant, she wasn't uninvolved. In fact, her ties to them are raising questions that cut to the core of everything she claims to stand for. I thought he was a clean businessman, someone smart and powerful. I had no idea who he really was until I saw it up close. Hour after hour, day after day. Let's talk facts. Oprah and Harvey Weinstein weren't casual acquaintances. Their friendship was documented, celebrated, photographed like a red carpet power couple. She smiled beside him at events, praised his genius publicly, and embraced him in the warm glow of legitimacy. But when he fell, when the world saw what he really was, Oprah vanished. The distance was sudden, calculated, but not everyone bought. Itzel called her out. So did Rose McGowan. Both claimed she knew the truth all along and chose to stay silent. Why? To preserve her position, her image, her empire. If that's true, we're not just looking at selective outrage. We're looking at deliberate concealment, a strategy designed to protect the powerful even when that power masked predation. So many were afraid to come forward, afraid of what he could do to them, in their careers, in their lives. So they stayed silent, trapped in a secret for years. And then there's Epstein, a name that still makes the room go cold. There's no photo of Oprah on his island, no public document tying her directly to his crimes. But insiders whisper a different narrative, that she moved comfortably in circles, linked to Epstein, that she knew which stories needed amplifying and which ones had to disappear. They claim Oprah wasn't just aware of Hollywood's darkest secrets, she was managing them, curating which scandals went viral and which ones never made it past. A whisper, this version of Oprah, the alleged gatekeeper of Hollywood, deciding who got exposed and who got protection. That's not just disturbing, it's terrifying. And it brings us right back to Diddy. Because if the rumors are true, Oprah's protection of Diddy isn't just loyalty, it's strategy, it's self-preservation. I'm sorry, I'm just really in it right now. You don't know what it's like to watch someone throw your life away like it never mattered, and then just move on, while you're stuck. 21 years later, Hollywood insiders whisper about something even more sinister: insurance files. Secret documents allegedly held by Diddy, full of dirt on the industry's most powerful people. Not rumors, not gossip, proof and the speculation. Oprah's name is in there. Some say that's exactly why she stayed so close, because Diddy isn't just a liability, he's a threat. One with receipts. He used to brag about it, one former staffer revealed. Those files weren't rumors, they were leverage. That's how he kept everyone in check, including the people with the biggest names. If Diddy truly has this kind of dirt, it explains everything. Why Oprah has allegedly stood by him, even as the walls close in. Why the public persona remains untouched, even as the private panic grows louder. And sources say, the panic is real. Behind the scenes, Oprah is reportedly mobilizing everything. Money, lawyers, media, all to keep the lid on what might be the biggest scandal of her career. My mother once told me, Denzel, do good, but do it the right way. You can't buy your way into heaven, you have to serve. And Denzel's words now hang like a warning. Because if these allegations are true, if Oprah is involved, not just by association, but by protection, then this isn't about loyalty, it's about survival. And it's not just about her. The whispers say those insurance files go deep. Executives, pastors, actors, public figures. The world still trusts. Files that could tear down entire careers, destroy reputations, and rewrite Hollywood's power map overnight. This isn't accidental silence. It's orchestrated, controlled by puppet masters with billion-dollar stakes. And if Oprah is truly at the center, not just protecting Diddy, but directing damage control, then the mask of moral righteousness is about to crack wide open. Because let's not forget, Diddy's still playing puppet master from inside his cell. Prosecutors recently seized handwritten notes, allegedly instructing family members to dig up dirt on his accusers. That's not legal defense, that's warfare. And if Oprah is really on the front lines of this battle, silencing leaks, shaping coverage, and protecting secrets, the empire she built on truth might be founded on lies. Strength, leadership, power, these are God's gifts. We must cherish them, not abuse them. I prayed today to be a better listener, but Hollywood wasn't listening. And now, it's too late to pretend this is just another scandal. Because, if this unraveling is what it appears to be, Oprah Winfrey isn't just part of the problem, she may be the one holding it all together. Even in the midst of this swirling chaos, one voice continues to demand attention: Denzel Washington. A man whose reputation for integrity is as strong as his presence on screen, Denzel has long warned of a deeper, more insidious corruption running through Hollywood. His message isn't the rant of a fringe figure, it's a spiritual wake-up call from a respected Hollywood giant. Denzel doesn't see this as a PR disaster. He sees it as a battle between light and darkness, good and evil. And with Oprah's alleged involvement in shielding Diddy and whispers of damning insurance files that Diddy may be holding over Hollywood's elite, Denzel's words suddenly sound prophetic. He's urged us to stay grounded, to listen, not to the noise of fame, but to the voice of truth. And now, that truth is starting to break through the cracks. Oprah, once considered untouchable, the very symbol of empathy and empowerment, is rumored to have mastered the art of silencing scandals before they ever saw daylight. Behind her polished empire, insiders claim, was a machinery of control, payouts, curated narratives, and strategic damage control. But that machine is failing. The secrets are slipping out, and what's emerging threatens to dismantle everything she built. Because if these accusations bear even a sliver of truth, then Oprah's downfall isn't just personal, it's systemic. It shatters the illusion of Hollywood's moral authority and forces us to confront the uncomfortable question: if Oprah can fall, who else might be complicit? What other legends are tangled in this web? Diddy's upcoming trial is only the beginning. Insiders warn of more names, more files, and more scandals waiting to erupt. And if those files contain information about Oprah or other revered figures, the fallout will be seismic. Sources say Hollywood is bracing for a collapse, not just of careers, but of trust, of legacy, of the entire celebrity culture we helped build. The betrayal feels personal because these were the faces we adored, the voices we believed in, and now we're forced to question it all. At the center of it remains Denzel, calm, watchful, unwavering. His quiet warnings now echo louder than ever. Maybe he was the only one who saw the truth all along. Maybe the real story isn't just about Diddy or Oprah, but about an entire system built on secrets. We need to ask ourselves, can we still trust the celebrities we once looked up to? Or are we finally witnessing the moment when the illusion collapses? One thing is clear, this is far from over. And sometimes, the truth is darker than fiction.